Hi guys, so here's the thing. You know you want to stretch, you know it makes you feel better, you like the feeling that flexibility gives you, but you don't do it. And why is that? Well, stretching is like any other habit really, and there are a few fundamental principles and hacks that we can use to make something that you want to do into something that you just do without even thinking. So today I'm going to share 5 ideas with you that's going to help you make stretching just part of your day in the same way that, say, brushing your teeth is. Let's get into it. So principle number 1 is environment. And in James Clear's book, Atomic Habits, he talks a lot about how the environment we surround ourselves by influences our habits, both positively and negatively. So if we make bad habits, for example, very easy to access, we're far more likely to keep doing the bad habits that we don't want to be doing. And equally, if we make the good habits that we want to be making, if we make them hard, then we're far less likely to do them. So we really need to be doing the reverse of that. So he uses an example of a bad habit. Say you're playing too much PlayStation. Each time you play the PlayStation and you finish, take it out, unplug it from the telly, put it back in a box, put it in a cupboard, so that next time you want to play the PlayStation, you actually have to go through all the effort of taking it out of the box, plugging it back in. And that simple act would actually make it more difficult to play the PlayStation and you'd be less likely to do it. But at the same time, if you're trying to make good habits, you want your environment to be set up in a way where it's easy. So with stretching, we're kind of lucky that all you need is a bit of floor space and your body. So you just need a clear space. But having said that, you don't want to have clutter, and you want the space to be inviting as well. So my house with 2 young kids is often chaos, so I make sure that when the kids are in bed, the living room is tidy, and then I'm far more likely just to get down onto the floor and wriggle and stretch and move while I'm watching Netflix, because the space is clutter-free and inviting for me to get down on the floor and just stretch. And also, if you use any tools like a foam roller or a yoga mat, you want them easy to access. You don't want to have to be rummaging around in a cupboard or moving things or not being able to find them when you want them. So have a lacrosse ball, your foam roller, the massage gun, whatever you need, have them handy so that you can access them easily. So principle number 2 is to find interesting ways to stretch. Now, if you think about it, all stretching is testing our body towards end range, and we can do that mobile, we can do it static, or we can just integrate the things that we do in our day anyway, but do them in interesting ways and deep ways that just test movement. So when we imagine stretching, we often think of something like yoga, where you might be doing a set routine or a few stretches. You might spend a few minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes doing it. But it could just be as simple as squatting down to reach into a cupboard, and instead of just bending down to reach into a cupboard, you could go into a deep squat. Or you could bend and twist in funny ways, or when you go up the stairs you could go 3 steps at a time and really try and open up your hips. All of these weird things through your day, they contribute to joint range of motion, to joint strength, joint balance, and they're just little ways that you can drip feed wide range of motion into your body without really even having to take any more time in your day than what you already are, because you're already picking something out of a cupboard, you're already going up the stairs. So why not do it in a weird way that tests your joints and ligaments and muscles and connective tissues in 3 planes of motion towards end range, and it's time that you would be spending anyway. Principle number 3 is possibly the most important, or at least I find it the most important whenever I'm starting anything new. And that's to focus on the process, not the outcome. It's human nature to want the outcome. You want to be more flexible, or if you're getting into running, you want to be more fit. You want to enjoy running where you get the runner's high, or if you're weightlifting, you want to be strong and you want muscles and you want the feeling of strength. Whereas unfortunately, when we get started on these things, there's no way around it, it sucks and it feels horrific. So if you haven't been stretching much and you know that you need to stretch more because you feel so inflexible, I'm sorry, but when you get into it, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna be disgusting. And also, you're not really gonna notice much progress. The progress will be slow initially, but like anything in life, it compounds and builds and grows. And it's when you start to notice progress, which in stretching would be a few weeks into doing it regularly, then you'll start to get addicted. Then you'll start to notice the difference day to day. But that feeling of benefit and enjoyment doesn't happen at first. So you've got to stick to the process, trust that you're doing something good for your body, and the enjoyment will come later. So stick to the process, not the outcome. Flexibility and enjoyment comes further down the line. So principle number 4 is stealing a phrase from Simon Sinek, start with why. Why do you want to be more flexible? Why do you want to stretch regularly? And that could come down to reducing your risk of injury. It could come down to the sport you play or the training that you do. It could just be wanting to feel freedom of movement in your body, because honestly, out of all the forms of fitness, having good cardio, having good strength, or having good flexibility, I really enjoy the feeling of fluidity in my body, probably more than any of the others. I notice it more on a day-to-day basis. So it could just be that. Or you may have younger people in your family that you want to keep up with. So for me, my kids are always messing around on the floor, and I want to be able to keep playing with them on the floor. So try and have a think. I often use a pen and paper to do this. Really think deep down, why do you want to do what you're about to do? When you have that deeper purpose, particularly if that deeper purpose isn't you, it's something outside of you, that's where the habit will really start to stick, and you'll find yourself much more readily motivated to get to work with it. And principle number 5 is to make it fun. Nothing in life is sustainable if it's not fun. So what I do to make things fun is I like to learn different ways to do things. So this YouTube channel and many other YouTube channels are a great way to learn. There are so many online platforms now that can help you find interesting ways to stretch that will work for you. Try and get your family involved, and I stretch with my young kids and play around with my young kids in a way that helps stretch my body, and I link it to sports and the training that I do. So I'll stretch before certain things that I really enjoy, like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or just going to the gym. It makes it seem very functional because I'm doing it to achieve something, and because it's fun, because it's linked to other things outside of me, it's going to be far more sustainable. So I really hope that helps you make the habit of stretching stick. And remember, all you need is a clear environment. You need to find interesting ways to move through your day, because all stretching really is testing your joints in 3 planes of motion in deep range. And then you need to focus on the process, not the outcome. The enjoyment and the progression will come later. And then really find your purpose. Why do you want to be more flexible, and link it to as many things outside you as you can. And then lastly, have fun with it. And over time, you'll notice that your body really thanks you for it, and you'll start to find that being flexible, being mobile, and being free in your body is actually a wonderful feeling. So please comment below if you've got any questions. I hope that helped, and see you next time.